I'm a professional wine critic, so I've been writing about and reviewing wine for 18 years. When I think of Woodinville, it's really the heartbeat of Western Washington wine. Woodinville is very interesting because it's about 30 miles from downtown Seattle. People come from all over to both pour their wines here and to taste the wines here, and that's something that's very special. When you've got a town with 130 different wineries, you need an approach, right? You might be inclined to say, well, I want to go to as many different places as I can. I would actually encourage the opposite approach and say, pick a specific area that you want to go to. Maybe you want to go to the warehouse wineries or downtown or where have you, and focus on a few wineries in those areas. Really spend a couple hours at the winery, get to know them and get to know their story, because so much of what Woodinville is those stories.
In the downtown district, I love the kind of separate areas. One has a lot more food, but with a beautiful wine walk row. And then the other section has wine alley with a few other amazing restaurants that you can eat at and just kind of sip and stroll. I think one of the most amazing things with a lot of the wineries that are coming into this new downtown district is the fact that they have food. A lot of them are elevating their tasting experiences with tasting menus, pairing wine and food.
I'm lucky enough to be the executive chef here at Walla Walla Steak. We're using local seafood. We're trying to use a lot of local veg. You have all the right ingredients for the perfect recipe. You come down to Walla Walla Steak and have a nice cedar roasted salmon with some spiced apple beurre blanc. Yeah, that just fires me up. I'm just giving myself a goosebump.
When I hear people talk about Woodinville, I hear quaint and cute and fun and beautiful. If you're visiting Seattle and you're not going to make the drive to Walla Walla, to Tri-Cities, to Lake Chelan, Woodinville is your spot to go to. That's where you get a sense of what wines you do like, where you could go for a future visit, and just getting to experience all of them in one place.
We're sitting in McQueen's Champagne Bar, which I think is such a great addition to the Woodinville wine scene. I always say there's nothing better after a day of tasting wine to maybe have some bubbles or maybe a beer.
We want you to sit down, enjoy the wine presented in its purest form with some small bites, with some friends, kind of slow down and make an afternoon of it.
Hey there.
How's it going?
Good, how are you?
Doing very well.
We're in the Hollywood district,
Today we'll be having you try the Reserve Cabernet Sauvignon.
which to me, if there was an epicenter of Woodinville,
Oh, I love it.
that's a nice classic cab. It would all start here. The magic sort of begins in the Hollywood district.
It's called Hollywood District because of the Hollywood Schoolhouse. There's a great big building here called the Hollywood Schoolhouse, which was actually a school in its former life.
Part of this district is that you can see us as a circle of friends that are all right here, that you can walk place to place.
It's like one-stop tasting and shopping.
Because we're right next to each other. You know, we truly are neighbors. You're not, going 100 miles in between us.
There are flags available. Look both ways, just like Mom taught you. You'll be fine. Just alert the drivers that, hello, I'm crossing. Hello, please don't even come close to hitting me because I may have had a glass or two of wine and I'm walking to be safe. There are well over 30 wineries in the Hollywood district alone, and that's just one component of the Woodinville area.
Nowhere else in the world can you have this many wineries all in one spot.
So you can really make a really nice afternoon or weekend by coming out to Woodinville.
But there are some great places to stay overnight, fantastic food to go with the exceptional wine.
So be sure to take your time, plan the full day for it. We all want to talk to you. We all want to share our stories. We want you to come away knowing who we are.
You come down that main road and you see all of the A boards lined up and you think, oh, there's 4, 5, 6 wineries down there. And then you turn left and there's A boards on both sides of the street. I mean, you can go in any direction. There are so many wineries here in the warehouse district.
It's a warehouse, it's a production space, and it's like really incubator wineries.
In the warehouse here, we all help each other and I think make everyone's wine better in the process.
Hello. Hi, how are you today? Behind every door is kind of another world.
And it's 100% Grenache.
100% Grenache. Well, here's to Grenache.
I like Washington wine for 2 reasons. I always say the wines are great and the people are better. Of our 1,000+ wineries in Washington, the vast majority of those are small family wineries. And so if you go and visit the tasting room, you actually get to meet and talk to these people and hear about their passion and hear about why they started the winery.
On the outside, it looks like a strip mall, but on the inside, there's beautiful, like the one we're in right now, which has sort of an Italian Tuscan feeling to it. It's like going into somebody's living room, really. It's that personal.
We call this neighborhood the Junction, and it's a really neat part of the warehouse community. We've got a bunch of wineries, a brewery, distillery, cidery. It's great because we can open up our door and enjoy time outside when it's nice. I think that's a really interesting thing about the warehouse area in general, is that often you can meet the winemaker and ask them questions and see the actual equipment and places that the wine was made.
The Artisan Hill thing's very new. We have our own special little area over here, and to see what has happened, especially over the last 3 years, there's just been so much influx of not only just wineries, but really pretty great wineries.
It's like visiting neighbors, going from one to the other. And the nice thing is that each tasting room, they're very friendly, and I think they'll give you direction about what to go visit next.
West Valley District has so many options ranging from wineries, distilleries, and breweries. So you can just curate your own craft experience. You can go to a winery if you want to, you can choose a distillery, or you can be like me and go to a brewery all the time. I love West Coast IPA, so this is heaven for me.
It is Woodinville wine, but I think it's evolving to a destination for partaking in just about anything. We were the 8th craft brewery to come to Woodinville in 2015. Here you can have wine, you can have craft beer, our Cimmerian beer, and now Squeeze hard seltzer.
We're kind of an IPA house. We do have other beers like lagers and things like that, stouts, porters, but primarily it's IPAs. We're on the west side of the valley. There's definitely less of us over here.
We always say we're like a third of a mile down from the iconic Red Hook craft brewery, and if they're not familiar with that, then we're a third of a mile down past Woodinville whiskey. Then we get out the map to make sure they can get here, right? Let me show you.
The Woodinville website, right? It's so amazing. All you have to do is go over there, filter it by district, if you want to do wineries or you want to do breweries. And then it also gives you the option of like choosing dog friendly or not. So that would be my way of visiting here and like checking out the breweries. I love hanging out with my dogs as much as I love drinking beer. Because of all of the breweries, distilleries, and wineries that West Valley has to offer, this is truly where Washington pours.